Hi, mathematicians. First of all, please make sure that you are on page 239 as you are asked to be by the directions. Otherwise, this video will not make sense. If you're not on page 239, please pause the video, get to page 239 of your workbook, and then restart the video once you're there. So now that you're hopefully on the right page, we're going to skip 12.1. So you're not doing that. And we're going to 12.2. So I'm going to read the question aloud. Here is a situation that you saw earlier. So that's not actually true because this situation has to do with the problem up here, which we skipped. So that part's not right. So I'm now going to read the rest of the question aloud that isn't incorrect. Diego bought some raisins and walnuts to make trail mix. There are some words that you need to make sure you know spread out through here. So you need to know what raisins are. You need to know what walnuts are. And trail mix is one term that's kind of spread out here a little bit. So if you're not sure what those things are, pause the video, use Translate, use Google, whatever you need to do, and then restart the video when you're ready once you understand the context of the situation. So trail mix is a mix of all kinds of things. Sometimes it, as you can see in here, we've got M&Ms, we've got almonds, cashew, all kinds of stuff. Trail mix is kind of a variety of different things for you to snack on. And in this case, the trail mix contains some raisins, which are just dried grapes, and walnuts, which when you get them out of the shell look like this. I hope that this trail mix actually has more than raisins and walnuts, but that's all they tell us about. So hopefully there's more there because that would be kind of a not good trail mix. But anyway, I'll go on to the actual problem. So it says wrong color. Raisins cost $4 a pound and walnuts cost $8 a pound. Diego spent $15 on both ingredients. So let's look at what the question is asking us for A. First of all, that word equation. We know that equation means there is an equal sign somewhere. And they use the word constraint. So a constraint means a limit. So what we mean by a limit in this case would be that Diego spent $15. So however much money he spent on ingredients, it needed to equal $15. So that is part of our equation. So then let's revisit the fact that raisins cost $4 a pound. So raisins are $4 a pound. So mathematically, that means we would do $4 times the number of pounds of raisins. And we would add that to, it says that walnuts cost $8 a pound. So we would say $4 times however many pounds of raisins we got plus $8 times our number of walnuts, and that all needs to equal the total of $15. The only issue we have now is that it told us in the problem to let x equal the pounds of raisins. So that means I'm going to erase this r, and I'm going to replace it with an x because the problem told me to. And then it wanted y to be the pounds of walnuts. So I am going to erase w and replace it with a y. So if you're following the class activity, the Google form that you were just looking at asked you for the equation to enter into the answer box. So the equation that you need to answer is for x plus 8y equals 15. And again, that came from raisins costing $4 a pound, and they told us to use x to be pounds of raisins. And then walnuts cost $8 a pound, and they told us to use y to represent walnuts. And the constraint is how much he spent total, so that's $15. And finally, we know that it's an equation. So type into the answer box in the Google form, and don't use any spaces, 4x plus 8y equals 15.